Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it would be fun to go house hunting together. Recently I shared my apartment hunting journey with you all and you seem to really enjoy it. So I thought I'd show you exactly how I found those apartments to look around, kind of show you my tips and tricks for finding apartments online and just have a little browse, do a little bit of house hunting together. So first thing, no brainer, I go right to Rightmove. No pun intended, it's just my favourite website to use. I find it the most user-friendly, I guess, and it has all the filters I really like, which we'll get into. So I'm going to click on properties to rent because I'm not looking to buy right now, and you can be super specific with where you want to rent in this little box. So I'm going to put South London, and then it will bring up your initial kind of filters, which I love to use a lot because there's a lot of housing in London, so I really like to be super specific, and I always work out my wants and my needs beforehand, and I would filter in all of my needs in here. So search radius, like within a mile perhaps. Budget is super important. I'm going to put my max at 1,400 per calendar month, and that would be like top of my expenditure. Like I probably wouldn't even look at above 1,350, but sometimes you can knock prices down. So that is like my max budget, and I'm also sharing with one other person, so that will eventually be split between two. Max bedrooms, I'm gonna put 2 max bedrooms. If we had one as an office, that would be really handy. Minimum, I do not want to be living in a studio apartment, so I'm gonna put minimum of 1 bedrooms. Property type, I'm pretty open, so I think I'm gonna leave that and we can filter that later, which I'll show you. Add to site, again, not really bothered. So I'm gonna click find properties and see what it comes up with. So as you can see in this top corner, we have 6,044 results, and you can see from the map here, it is searching a wide area. Now I did put South London, but that's almost too south for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on edit this area. This is a really great way that allows you to like be super specific with what areas you're looking into. So if you know like half of Greenwich is really nice, but half of it isn't, just as an example, you can make a line straight through the middle of Greenwich or in the area that you don't want to live. So I'm going to see if I can clear area and just start from the beginning. I'm going to zoom in. I want to be looking around, oh that's kind of too far in. I want to be looking around the Brixton and Clapham area because that's where I currently moved to, so I'm just kind of recreating the scenario for you. So I'm going to go ahead, can I move this? Yes I can. And I think going from the river, because who wouldn't love to live near the river, I'm just going to go straight down, maybe like this. Brockwell Park I love, so I'm going to include Brockwell Park. I think I'm then going to just go straight across, up through Clapham Common. We'll include Battersea, I like Battersea. I do not want to be on the other side of the river, so I'm just going to follow the river around. Now as you can see, that's a much smaller proportion of the original map, and then I can just click view properties, which will zoom me out and show me the properties within that. I personally don't like looking through Rightmove through the dots because you really can't see what the properties are. Like, it does not give you a lot of information. So I'm going to click exit map. It's not going to get rid of your map, so I'm just going to click exit map. You can see on the right hand side it's still showing my map, and I now have 2,040 results, so I've minimized that down by like 30%, maths, I don't know, 30%. And you can see here it's now gotten rid of my filters, which is kind of annoying, but that's fine. We can just go back, quickly add those in. And then this, I much prefer these filters because I can click multiple rather than just one. So detached, yeah, sure. Never gonna find it for my budget, but semi-detached, terraced is fine. Flat, also fine. I do not want a bungalow, definitely not student halls, and I'm not looking for any land. I currently have quite a bit of furniture, so I'm gonna click part furnished. Am I? No, I'm going to click unfurnished. When we moved here, I think it was unfurnished as well, so I'm just going to click unfurnished because I have a sofa and things. And now you can see, look at the results drop, 85 results, so that's way more manageable. I'm also just going to click down the drop down because they have so many options here for super niche filters basically. So I don't want a house share, I do not want a retirement home, and I do not want student accommodation, so I can click through all of those. And I do want a garden, so I'm going to click that. We'll see how many houses we've got now. 13. so much more manageable. And if that is too low of a number for you, you can always expand your area a little bit, or maybe bump up your budget depending on what you want to prioritize. Okay, so just off the bat, these are all quite high, what I'm noticing in the budget. We're gonna have a look anyway. I just like to flick through the photos initially just so I can get kind of a feel for it. Like immediately this first one, I'm thinking it's too dark and that kitchen is pretty small. So I'm gonna skip on that one. This next one looks really pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that in a new tab. I love the new tab function because I can just go through all 13 really quick and then go through them in a bit more detail and kind of niche down a little bit. This one looks really pretty. I really like how it's all in one space. The kitchen looks good. Lots of light in the bedroom. The bathroom isn't great, but look at all that garden space. Hello, let's open that up. Okay, and then we've got a 1-bedroom flat, good price. It's not my favourite, so just personal reasons, just like the garden needs a lot of things doing to it. There's not a lot of natural light. The kitchen looks quite cramped, so I'm just going to skip on that one. This immediately I'm drawn to because it's just a blank canvas. The kitchen looks great. I love it when they have the floor plan so you can see the dimensions. There's no picture of the garden, so let's open that up and see. This is a great price, 1275. Looks like they have parking available. There's 2 bedrooms. Currently questioning my life choices. Opening this because that looks amazing, especially with 2 bedrooms. This also looks really nice. Look at all that light. That's the big thing for me, natural daylight. Even though you can't tell on daylight today because it's currently raining. But this looks really nice as well, so I'm going to go ahead and open that one. As you can see, I'm quite open with how many I open up into like new tabs and have a better look at. But because I'm so specific with my filters, it's because they all pretty much apply to exactly what I'm looking for. This one I don't love. I don't know why, but that's fine because I'm the one who's going to be living it. That looks amazing. Look at that garden size. All of that natural light, love it. Opening that, 1,200, hello. That's so cheap. This one again, just very dark. Just skipping on that one. I'm not really a fan of the flooring, which you can't really change, so I'm going to skip that. That's on twice, 3 times, and then we're done. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different tabs open which we can have a further look into. And I'm quite specific with what I look for here, so I'm going to be looking at the garden, whether it's shared or private, like the amenities, what it's near. Is there a tube station near, which we'll show you. So we've already kind of seen the pictures of this. They also have a video of it, which is really handy. So I love it when they have a video because it gives you such a better understanding of the layout. Ooh. First bedroom, very nice, lots of daylight. Look at that bed, very antique, my goodness. I think it comes unfurnished. Furnished or unfurnished, landlord is flexible. Little look at the garden, bit of a mess. Oh, but they've got some nice seating down there. We'll have to see if that's shared or not. Good look at the first bedroom. Bathroom's very nice. I like the flooring. The fact they have a bath is another need for me. I need a bath, honestly. I'm a shower person, but baths are too important. Great storage, very important. So you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell that from a photo. I like the wood surfaces. Looks clean, nice daylight. Let's see the living area, and big living area, which is separate from the kitchen. So yeah, that is definitely a plus in my books. Right, now getting into it, tells you how much the deposit is. It's a long-term letting type, and I will always forever try and negotiate a 6-month break clause in my contracts, just because it gives me a bit more flexibility. So even though that is long-term, you can always try and negotiate a break clause in there. Now this is where it gets tricky. So you can see on this map that there's not many tube stations around, which is kind of upsetting. 1-bedroom period conversion flat, close to Brixton tube station. It does say it's close, so let's have a look at how far exactly. There is access to a garden. so I think that's a shared garden. We'd have to inquire about that. Okay, so it's only a mile away, but that's still quite a walk. So you have 0.8 miles to Brixton Station and then 1 mile to Clapham North, which isn't too bad. That's what, like a 10-20 minute walk, probably 20 minutes actually, more of a 20-minute walk. Right now I have 3 tube stations within 10 minutes of me, and they're like half a mile max, so it works out a lot better just because my commuting time is a lot easier, especially if I'm going to and from. So if that is important to you, that's something to consider. But it looks great, to be honest, and I would quite like to have a look around it, because sometimes the neighbourhood can be the thing that kind of draws you in, or if you do the walk to the tube station you find it super easy, what have you, that's a really easy thing to do. So now what I'm going to do is save this link to this property and put it into a spreadsheet, which not everyone has to do this, but I just find it works very well for me and my brain, because basically what it will end up looking like is this, which is how I populated my house hunting experience basically. So I gave all of the houses a nickname, how much I liked them was in green, yellow or red. I had the website there, how much the rent was, if it was furnished, if bills were included, the distance to the tube. Just because after you've seen, as you can probably see from this, I've got 6 tabs open, it's very easy to get confused between each one. And then I will put down the contact number, and once I've populated that all with like 5, 6, 7, 13 different properties that I really like, or I want to have a look around just to see what my options are, I'll put the contact number in and then write down the date of viewing, so then I can schedule that on my calendar and I'm good to go, and they've all been scheduled in and I can refer back and flip through like between them really easily. And I just basically do that for each one, so I can tell I probably don't like this one as much as the other one, just because it's a bit more tight on space. It's also far more expensive. This one, oh no, it's not, it's cheaper. It's a little bit cheaper, but we can see if we can knock down the other price perhaps. Is this the one that didn't have the picture of the garden? Oh no, it does. That's a pretty good garden. Oh my gosh, is that snow? Wow. So then we can just have a look through. Private garden, so that's already a plus. That already makes me become more drawn to this apartment. So it is really important to look for the details that are important to you. Double glazed, great, amazing transport links. Already from this map you can see how close those stations are, which is great. So it says 0.3 miles to Clapham, 0.4 miles to Stockwell. So even though originally I was like, oh, I'm not sure about these pictures, in terms of my needs, this is now a higher priority than the last one, because it's matching more of what I wanted. And I think you have to kind of take a step back sometimes with the images. Like, there's a funny hue on this photo, it's very blue, and perhaps the furniture in there isn't the furniture I would have, or I wouldn't decorate it that way. So then that kind of depends a lot. Like, there's stuff all over the place, like cardboard boxes, stuff on the kitchen counter, dog food on the floor. Like, it can really become quite distracting. And actually, as I've just mentioned that dog food, I'm like, do they allow pets? It doesn't say they allow pets, but I bet they do. Which, you know, if you're looking to get a cat or a dog, that's quite hard to do. So yeah, not bad. And again, I will just add that to the spreadsheet, go back in, find the number, and I will contact them all. And the way I contact them is I will just say like, hi, my name's Amber, I'm a professional 23-year-old living in London looking for a house to rent or an apartment to rent with my boyfriend of 5 years or whatever. Like, just give them like a little bit of backstory, like I'm a non-smoker, etc, etc, and then they will get back to you and just say like, oh, can you do this time, yes or no, or they'll call you. Agents call you a lot. But that's basically how I go about kind of finding what's right for me. And like I said, if you go through all of these and you're like, no, none of those work, check back like every 3 days, every day if you want to. Expand your search. Could you live a little bit more west, a little bit more east? I couldn't think of the direction then. And it's so much fun. I really enjoy looking through houses. I'm so nosy. I quite like seeing into other people's houses, but it's also really fun to know what else is out there. Like, all of these properties are available to rent right now as I'm filming this, even though I'm currently living in Brixton. I have just moved and I'm very happy with my house. It's nice to see what else is out there. You never know what you might find. There might be a hidden gem. So yeah, definitely take on some of these advice or tips if you like. Definitely prioritize those filters, they help so much, as well as the map drawing feature. I think that's my favorite. This obviously is not sponsored in any way, shape or form. I just really enjoy looking at properties, so I thought I'd do it with you, especially because I had so many questions from my apartment tour, apartment hunting videos, all about how I managed to find it and what kind of things I look out for. So I hope this has been really helpful. If you have liked this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below, because I make videos all about living in London and I will be posting a new video every Sunday. Bye.